So, Kang, ask away.
All right, you're going to receive no matter what.
That's
on every
right.
question first.
Every question.
Here we go. Tyrod Taylor just led the New York Giants to a win over the Washington Commanders and should have beat the Buffalo Bills the week before. If Taylor plays well versus the Jets, should he remain the Giants starter ahead of Daniel Jones?
Yes. I think you go with the guy who's the hot hand. I think the Giants they made a horrible decision to sign Daniel Jones to that giant contract. And the only reason that anybody would think that they're going to go back to Daniel Jones is because of said contract. He wasn't worth the contract. It was a giant mistake that they gave it to him, appropriately named the Giants. Tyrod Taylor, I feel like he's always been this really good bridge quarterback, this guy who teams would love to have as your backup because you know he can win games. It feels like every time he got just a sliver of a chance to start, something else happened, and they end up drafting the next guy, and then he gets left behind. I think he's a good quality quarterback. I don't think he's great, but I think right now, if he's winning with the Giants, look, beggars can't be choosers. If you got a quarterback who wins and you're the Giants, go with the guy who's winning.
Gator, I'm with you. I've always been a Tyrod Taylor fan for some reason. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's great, but he's been good enough before, and he's at this point in his career, he probably is a bridge quarterback, a gap quarterback. But every time he's about to be that guy, you brought up, he gets passed over. With the Bills, he actually played well, but then they went and drafted Josh Allen, so they had to move on. With the Chargers, he was about to be the starter, and then remember they gave him a shot in his chest or something and did something to his, so he had to, it was like the day of the game, and Justin Herbert had to come in and start.
It was with the Chargers,
yeah, and Herbert never looked back for good reason. And then I think he was with the Browns one year, and they drafted Baker Mayfield, so he just kept getting screwed over, I thought, and he never got a real shot. And at this point, it's too late in his career, but now I think he does have a shot because you're right. The Giants way overpaid for Daniel Jones. If Tyrod Taylor plays well, you ride the hot hand. No need to go back to Daniel Jones. I don't care what Brian Daboll says that Jones is his starter. If they beat the Jets, stick with the hot hand.
Here we go.
All right, during Monday Night Football, it was caught on live TV in 4K, the Vikings coach O'Connell telling TJ Hawkinson as he was coming off the field to go down with an injury. So he went down with a, quote, air quotes, injury. Should the Vikings be punished?
Yeah, I think they should. It would be a minimal fine that you can give him, or give the team. Hawkinson went down and got up slowly, right? It wasn't like he sprung right up. I mean, I think he was getting up slowly. So, I mean, you can make the argument if you're the Vikings that, well, we were telling the guy, look, you're coming off the field because of an injury. Just go ahead and lie down. We'll take the time. We'll get you off the field properly. But it looks awful. And when you got the coach and everyone say, oh, I guess he wants him to stay down. If he was coming off the field on his own and looked like he wasn't much worse for wear, like he'd be back the next play, and you've got a better view, a better camera angle of that, other than just the camera angle of him saying what he wants him to do, then yeah, I think they should get some kind of a fine. I don't know, $10,000 fine.
Yeah, I don't know what the punishment should be. I think they should be punished. It's not illegal to tell a player to go down if he actually is hurt. You're right, Gator. But it is illegal if he's not hurt. It looked to me that he was faking it. So my solution is, I don't think a lot of people are going to like this, but my solution is, for anyone that gets hurt, real or fake, you got to sit out not one play, but 2 plays. I know it sounds punitive, but it definitely makes sure people, if they got to be really hurt, because otherwise TJ Hawkinson would have had to sit out for 2 plays, right? And maybe you say, oh, they're just going to do a lesser guy, then whatever. You're down that guy for 2 plays, though. It stops it puts more emphasis on faking injuries and more emphasis on player safety as well, Gator. So sit out 2 plays just to be safe, right?
Yep.
All right, what team should trade for Derrick Henry? His name has been in trade talks a lot.
Yeah, his name has come up an awful lot. And, you know, I look at the NFC teams, and I don't think it makes much sense for the teams that are in the hunt for the playoffs to go for him. You know, San Francisco's, they've got McCaffrey. They don't need him. Seattle's got a couple running backs. They don't need him. So I'm looking to the Lions could, I suppose, but the stronger case is made for a team in the AFC North. And I'm looking at the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are 4-2. All right. They're behind the Ravens, who lead the division with a 5-2 record. They don't have Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt is in and out of the lineup. They've got Ford in the backfield as well, but this is Derrick Henry. Go ahead and make the move to get Derrick Henry if you can. The problem is that Cleveland doesn't have a whole lot of capital to give up after obtaining Deshaun Watson. But I think it would be a game-changing move if they were to sign him.
Yeah, I got someone in the AFC North as well. I've got the Ravens. I think J.K. Dobbins went down. They always seem to have running back by committee over there. Every running back they ever sign goes down or gets hurt or nicked up. I don't think Gus Edwards is the answer. Lamar Jackson and King Henry together, if they run that RPO or that, even the Wildcat, I think that would make defenses tremble. And I think Derrick Henry would be a good fit for the Ravens. All right, the stats have shown in Gator, Travis Kelce just plays better when Taylor Swift is in attendance. Do you think her being in attendance and present at the games actually makes a difference whether Kelce plays well or not?
I do. And I think it's because he absolutely craves attention. I'm not a Travis Kelce fan. I think he's an amazing player. But off the field stuff, I just get annoyed with him. He's on every other commercial. The guy loves the attention. And, the people aren't even sure if this is a real relationship he's got with Taylor Swift. I don't really care, personally, if he is or isn't dating her. But I do think it matters to him that he's in the spotlight. So if this happens to give him that extra edge, and this is what got him the 12 catches for 179 yards and a touchdown last week against the Chargers, so be it. For him, I think it does give him an edge.
I think it does as well. We forget that athletes are humans, not robots. Their home life does affect their work life. And just like you and me, if he's happy off the field, he probably wants to, he's probably being a lot happier on the field. If he sees someone he wants to impress, that matters. Also, this could go the other way. If they break up and it's a bad breakup, he could play bad. Like I said, their personal life does affect their work life, and they're humans. So, but in this case, so far, it does make an effect on Kelce, and he's playing better when she's there. Who's the best 5-win team left right now? Sorry.
Part of me wants to say San Francisco because they're going to get healthier, but I'm not sold on Brock Purdy. I made a proclamation like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, all right, I'm on the Brock Purdy bandwagon finally. And then he just lays 2 eggs in a row. So I'm off. I think it's the Baltimore Ravens. And I know that they just smoked the Lions and we're calling a yuck, throw it in a garbage game. But Lamar Jackson showed that when they play their game, this is what they're capable of. I don't think this is a one-off for Baltimore. I think it was a one-off for the season for the Lions to have a game that bad. But this shows what Baltimore can do. And not only is it done offensively with Lamar Jackson, but it's done defensively with what they've got with Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen and others. And John Harbaugh is a great coach, one of the top 3 coaches, I think, in the National Football League. So you add all that together, and I just really like Baltimore.
It looks a little shaky right now, but I'll stick with the Niners. Injuries have really hurt them. No Debo, no Trent Williams. They lost to the Vikings. I think that played a major role. Brock Purdy might be hurt as well, even though a lot of people don't think he's the real deal. He's could be in concussion protocol. With the full roster, though, I think they're really tough to stop. So right now, I'm going to stick with the Niners as the best 5-win team. Are we headed for a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl rematch?
I don't think so because first of all, I'm not sure if the Eagles are going to get there, but I'm really not sure if the Chiefs are. There's so much competition in the AFC. There's so many intriguing teams. You look at Buffalo and you say, well, the Buffalo is not playing the way that they're capable of playing. We know that they're much better than that. When are they going to hit their stride? But the Dolphins are the team that I look at as just being fun. If the Dolphins get matched up with Kansas City in the playoffs, I think that this could be just like the Rams-Chiefs game we saw on Monday night years ago with Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes dueling it up. I think that we could see if it gets to be a shootout like that, the Miami wins, particularly if Miami's got a healthy A-Shane at the end of the season. I really like the Dolphins coming out of the AFC, at least to beat Kansas City. Now, there might be another team that ends up getting the Super Bowl from the AFC, but it's not going to be Kansas City.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen either. I think it's just too hard to keep going back. Chiefs to get back and win it, Eagles get back and lose, but it's just too difficult today in the parity the league has. I'm going to say the Dolphins have a really good chance. Obviously, I still believe in the Niners, so I think maybe one of the two teams makes it back, but I don't think we have an actual rematch.
All right, there you have it. It's our Wide Nine around the league. Red Dog Blitz, backup quarterback. Oh, my God, broke my leg. Hurt thingy.